Hello and welcome to the show. So when we film these Forza Motorsport multiplayer sessions, I tend to run 4 races. Now, the videos contain the best 2 of those, or 2 of those, because sometimes you can get lots of very good races. Sometimes things don't quite work out, or I just have a boring one from my perspective. That does happen, that's motorsport. But sometimes you get lots of good races and you just have to pick 2 of them, which means there is various unaired footage lying around of still some very, very good on-track action. And in weeks like this one, where I am not available for filming in the normal time slots, it means that we can dig into the archives and show some previously unused races. We head to Hockenheim, where, well, we're a long way back on the grid. Thanks, Forza. It is rather soggy. However, here is the thing. May well not stay that way. We have got, the weather playing about. There is a chance it dries up. Now, if it dries up at the very end of the race, well, you're probably going to just have to make do with your wet tyres. But if it dries out earlier on, do you pit to run some slicks, or do you try and keep the wet tyres alive? The pit's going to take a long time. You may not make up enough time for that one. But yeah, we will have to wait and see what happens in all of this, because I don't know, quite frankly. We've not had a great start. God, the preludes are so stupidly fast in a straight line. Ewan is going to get boxed in and have nowhere to go, though. We are side by side with the Brazenmobile. The Merc's okay in a straight line, it's just not quite as quick as I might have hoped it would be. We got on the brakes later than Brazen. I think Brazen maybe let off the brakes when they realised they got... Because no one's really quite sure where they need to get on the brakes in this first lap, right? The chances are we're not doing these cars in these conditions around this circuit, so you're kind of learning a little bit. And yeah, we actually got stopped pretty well at the end of the long straight there. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of battling going on here. Stevie with an unfortunate moment. We are on the outside of Scotty. There's going to be just about enough space for a Mercedes to creep itself alongside, but then Scotty's got the acceleration, although on a terrible line. I doubt we'll be able to hold that. We will move ourselves up into 11th place. Not terrible, not a terrible start by any stretch of the imagination. I will take that, all things considered. But yeah, what's going to happen with the weather is a really, really good question here. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm hoping for at this point. I feel like my car is probably going to be better in the dry conditions than the wet. I haven't got aero on it. The hope for a little bit more top end. The aero would help in these less than ideal conditions. If it does dry up at the mid portion of the race, then I don't know. Do you gamble on a pit? Do you try and tough it out? Because the track's going to take a few laps to dry. You're going to lose a bunch of time, but then once it is dry, how long do the wets last? We are unsure of many of these questions. So, yeah, so far we've found ourselves in a little bit of no man's land for a minute, which I'm okay with while we sort of learn the car as best we can. It looks like Grumpors is going to be defending as we barrel down towards the hairpin for the second time. The Merc so far performed relatively well, actually a little bit early on the brakes again as we get stopped for the hairpin, although not necessarily a bad idea when there's a big cluster of cars. Last thing you want to be doing is pushing your braking point and causing a massive accident. Car guy having a look, not going to find a way past there. You can sometimes into this corner. It is flat out even in these conditions. Grumpel sliding around through there. The faux Alfa Romeo is having a look, but it's going to lose out a little bit. Grumpels may lose out even more as we try to sneak the Mercedes into this pass. The Porsche gives us a little bit of a lean. Have I got enough straight line speed here to clear the car of Grumpels? I do, but I've got to barrel into this corner really quickly to do it. Not ideal, but we have made the pass stick. Fantastic stuff. Absol leads the way from I don't know who. There's a Porsche having a little bit of a sniff. Was not prepared for the Porsche having a little bit of a sniff. Did not realise it was there until a little bit too late. We kind of squeezed Grumpels inadvertently through that one. There is an Escort Cosworth battling away over 3rd place up there. We are a little bit boxed in through this. Have got a really, really good run out of the final corner. Have I got the pace to beat the 190E? I don't. I can't do it, and I don't want to go side by side into turn 1, particularly here. Absol leads the way. He's not really escaping at the front. I feel like car guy's faster than me. We're quite quick, though, in this field. I would be happy with the conditions staying as they are, to be honest. We do seem pretty rapid. I think Impega wanted to sort of do that sort of cut down on the apex, but cars behind were not quite prepared. There were a couple of bumps. Nothing completely terrible in all of that. The Mercedes has been released from a very, very soggy longbow in that Aston Martin. We are well clear of Brazen and the group behind. Impega has negative straight line speed pretty much down here. Will be, though, very good under brakes, and I would imagine very good under traction here, of course, with the all-wheel drive Escort Cosworth. We're going to try and punch the Mercedes off the corner here if we can. We're going to use Impega as a pick here. We're going to use Impega to block in Longbow, and we are going to sneak our way to the inside, and we get 2 cars in one go. That will work very nicely for me, although Impega is going to immediately now try and fire back into the twisty section where the Escort is going to be faster. The Aston Martin is immediately back behind us while we all try and get settled. It is busy. It is very busy in this mid-pack. What is the weather doing? That is a big question here. Will anybody... It looks like it's still raining too much. Wyvern got in trouble there. Had a big wobble off of the curb, but no one was really able to profit all that much from that. Impega's going to have a look, and I mean, what I'm going to try and do is, if I can, we're going to try and follow in the space. Basically, we're going to use Impega as a wedge, and yeah, follow through in the space that was created in that one. Impega's now to the inside of Shadow, but no straight line speed, is not going to be able to do that. We will head down towards the first corner. There's a little bit... Oh, okay, a little bit sat up on the curb initially, but we are now through. It's 3 wide further up ahead. Not going to have a look. Okay, am going to have a look here. Not trying to go and have a look down there. Christ, I was later on the brakes than I was... well, they were earlier on the brakes. I wasn't even thinking about having a pass on that one. Kind of surprised, I think surprised the crap out of Impega down there. Although I won't wait for that Escort to be very quick around the latter part of the lap. Absol continues to lead the way. I think it's stopped raining. I think the rain is gone now, but I think it's going to stay. I think it's stopped, but it's stopped towards the end of the race. I don't think there's going to be anybody, any rhyme or reason why you would want to dive into the pits now, because the track won't be dry in time. The wets will survive till the end of it. If it had stopped raining early on, maybe a different story, but it hasn't done that one. So, yeah, I'm not expecting to see any cars. Unless anyone's gambled. I think you would just lose too much time. Had you gambled earlier in coming in, I think you'd have lost too much time. The MGs had a bit of an iffy lap, and I'm going to try and make the most of it. The MG now on the outside here. Are you going to be able to match the Mercedes' grip? No, you are not. The Merc is up into a 6th place here. We will get ourselves past that MGB and consolidate, and now we'll go chasing off after Shadow. I mean, Absol has kept... I mean, the gap's not changed drastically. Absol is in a strong position at the moment, ahead of... I think it's a GT86, but I honestly can't tell you right now as we round the final corner. The 190E's had a bit of a scruffy lap and is now under threat from a Mark II Golf. My car feels like it's come alive in these conditions. It feels like it is suddenly... I mean, it has been pretty good throughout, but it definitely feels good at the moment through there. Shadow ran a little bit wide. I sat on the curb and I didn't want to pull it across the curb too quickly because that unsettles it, so we actually then ended up running a little wide ourselves. We are, again, a little bit too late under brakes. I'm asking just a little bit too much of the car down there. Impega's back up into 7th place. The drying track working well for the Escort Cosworth, but its lack of straight line speed, of course, is always a problem. The Infinity is very fast down the straight. I mean, if the Golf and the 190E fight each other, that will help massively in catching this group. Could there be a potential podium in the offing? I mean, it would be difficult. It would be very, very difficult. Not impossible. We have got some pretty fortunate passes. That group back there, we've escaped the group, basically, which is what we needed to do, and we have done. Aaron's MG is so fast down that straight that it's causing chaos amongst that group of cars. We will now try and roll into this battle and see what we can do about picking off cars as and when opportunities arise. The Merc wants to slide, but it doesn't this time around. I think we are actually quicker than Absol at the moment in these conditions. We are definitely gaining a little bit. Shadows had to have a big lift through the mid part of that corner. Will Shadow leave the door open? Not really. There was half a gap down there, but it was never really going to be enough to send the Gullwing through. So we're going to have to settle for following Shadow at the moment. Yeah, the 190E seems so fast in the wet. It's decent in the dry, but it's not pulling like it was. All right, round the final corner we go. 190E, sorry, the 300 SL Gullwing is on the tail of the Infinity. It's really the battle of 5th and the battle for 3rd. Unlikely, even if we can clear Shadow into turn number 2, which is what we're going to try and do. I don't think we'd have time, and Shadow's still got the overlap. Shadow will defend. Sensible. In towards the next corner we go. Now, we will look around the outside. Going to be difficult to pull off, and I think Shadow has got good straight line speed in that car. I think has got more than me, which is unfortunate. Not quite of what I was hoping for in all of this. The track is now bone dry. The track is completely dry. Absol's lead is dwindling, but it's not by enough at the moment. What can we do? Shadow's contemplating going defensive. I think actually it's more just chasing the slipstream around up here. We are actually a little cautious under brakes this time around. This whole group of 4 cars are now catching second very rapidly here. The leaders were quick when it was wet, but they are not quite as fast now that the track has started to dry out. I'm a little too far back from Shadow in this one to really look at profiting. Well, I say that. We then as soon as we get in the twisty stuff, we are very fast. So that car in second is just got absolutely nothing in terms of pace. The wet tyres aren't disintegrating as I thought they were going to around here. So that is a thing I thought was changed in Forza and apparently was not. I wanted to be so much quicker through there, but Shadow got on the brakes because Shadow was aware about the... Well, Shadow has too much understeer really through there. Can we... I mean, there's one final manoeuvre we can do, and I can't set it up, I don't think. I think we're going to be too far back to really have a dive through here. I mean, there's a chance into the final corner if Shadow struggles to get the car off the turn. We have got through there very nicely. Shadow does struggle. It's going to be a drag race to the line here, but it's not quite going to be enough. Shadow will hold on to 5th. Oh, good race. Good race indeed. We could only manage a 6th place in that one. We came from a very, very long way back. Absol will take victory in a prelude up at the front. It was very quick in the wet. In the dry, well, I think the group, the Golf, the Merc, the Infinity, my 300 SL were charging up towards the front, but we just ran out of time. We ran out of time at the end of the day. Yeah, it dried, but not quite quick enough. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Very, very exciting race. The Merc performed very well in some somewhat difficult conditions. For our first race, the weather is awful. We are in the middle of the grid, and I'm very scared. This Datsun is not what you would call controllable in the dry, let alone in absolutely shocking conditions. Yeah, this is going to be an adventure. I mean, this is about the worst weather I think you can get. This is the rainstorm setting. I'm just going to play it safe into turn 1. There are chances here at Kyalami. I've got pretty good acceleration in the Datsun. I'm hoping we can outrun various cars in the acceleration zone. Datsun does have quite good traction. It does just occasionally get a little bit upset. Oh, there we got Forza glued on the inside of a muscle car. Yeah, I mean, there was a gap. It was worth having a go to the inside there, I think. Unfortunately, yeah, just once the car caught on the rear quarter of my vehicle, it just you get stuck together, and there's not much we can do. That's a shame. If we could have got clear there, I think we'd had a good chance of charging up through the field a little bit. As it is, we're going to have to be quite careful, I think, here with these classic cars. Oh, Coffee had a big wobble. I also had quite a big wobble, not waffle. There is a Dino having an adventure in front of us. We all had to check up for. Coffee struggling with traction a little bit there. We are going to run past that, and there's a gap to the inside of Grumples. We are going to try and put a V8 Datsun 2, and we will make the pass stick. We will get a really big slide on the exit. There is something doing a little bit of rallycross over there. That looks like a muscle car of some description. There's a lot of very small and very light vehicles. Whoa, no, Datsun, behave yourself. There's a lot of very small and very light vehicles that are very scary. Mine absolutely being one of them in this. We have got to... can we go around the outside of a Mercedes in a very difficult corner? We've already seen one almost death wobble from my car, which we did survive. It's to the inside at the final turn. Can we put the power down? We do. We are clear. We're clear of Grumple's Dino. Now, we're probably one of the quicker accelerated cars. Got 415 horsepower in this, which is a lot for a 2,100-pound Datsun. There will be cars that are faster than I am down a straight. The plus point for the Datsun is, in theory, it's very quick down the straights and quite controllable in the corners. With the tyre limit restrictions on this, everyone is on relatively small tyres. Everyone's car is relatively slidey through a lot of this. So, yeah, you've got to be quite careful. I wonder whether I should have chucked a full tank of fuel in this. I wonder if the little bit heavier cars may have been the way to go for a smidge of stability in these conditions. Honestly, whoa, please behave, Dad. I'm really very scared of this car. If I make all 5 laps without spinning, I'm honestly going to be quite happy. It is horrifically difficult to drive, this one. It is very, very slidey. It moves around all over the place. And when it does start going, it's really... Unlike watching Gliska's Ferrari there slide on the exit, where it's quite progressive, it's not too bad trying to keep control of it all. This, it's so snappy and pointy. If things start going wrong, you are just going to be in for trouble. We can get on the power. The Datsun slides on the exit. Now, will the Ferrari have better top end than me? Maybe, because the downside for the Datsun is it doesn't have great aero. Okay, no big death wobble for us this time around. We look to the outside, can't do it. Can we cut underneath for the exit? We do. The Datsun with great traction there. Although we are now going to go side by side with Gliska at a corner that's very dicey going side. We've been side by side twice through one of the most difficult corners to be going side by side in. Unfortunately for us, we are now having to go a long way around the final turn. The Datsun has got the grip, has got the traction. We launch it off the corner. We will clear the Ferrari. Can we go after that Aston Martin? I mean, the leaders aren't too far away here. The leaders are all kind of still quite bunched up. We are a little earlier on the brakes, perhaps, than I needed to be. I'm not completely sure. I think Gliska may have got hit. Gliska got a tag from behind. It looks like there was some chaos. That is unfortunate for the poor Ferrari in that one. It was very close behind us, and then I just saw it suddenly going sideways. Never good. Come on, little Datsun. Javi at the front is, I say, probably we could maybe match them if we can get there. I don't know the real pace of. I have been playing it a little bit cautious at places. I am very, very concerned with how easy it is to bin this car, basically. So we are having to be a little bit cautious. In the dry, I would be much happier with this. I mean, it's still difficult to drive even in the dry. Get off the curb, don't touch the curbs. The curbs are very dangerous. With the way I have got this running, it can get very upset. So yeah, going to have to be a little bit mindful in places. We can get on the power just earlier than almost anything. So the tyres were 255s as the maximum you could have, and we are on 245s, which is quite big for a car this size. I'd imagine the Aston Martins are on 255. But yeah, for some reason the Datsun just has great traction out of these corners. We have caught to the DBS, The question is, where are we going to be able to get past it? If we are going to get past it. Javi is actually kind of holding, it's a big gaggle of cars. I mean, first to 8th is going to be covered by, you know, 4 seconds at the rate this is going. If we all continue to bunch up here, dare I attack the inside curb a bit more than the cars ahead? We do. Trying to make that bit more time. Weirdly, that inside curb there, despite the fact it's quite a nasty curb, doesn't seem too bad. It's some of the other ones that are giving me more grief. Right, out of the final corner we go. We are closer, but not close enough to be having a look into turn 1. Well, I don't think we are. I don't know whether we're going to outrun the DBS down here. We are gaining. Will they think they need to go defensive? Perhaps they should have done. Wasn't really actually intending for a dive there. We just had the braking performance to do it in the Datsun. It was from quite a long way back, but we were good enough under brakes. We could make it work, and we move ourselves up into 7th position. Now, time to go after a Mercedes Gullwing here. I mean, 6th looks like the realistic best position we could get here, unless there are mistakes from cars ahead, just for the laps dwindling down at this point. And while my car is quick, I don't have that much pace to... oh dear, we have gone a little bit too deep. Thankfully, Absol still made the corner in that one. I did ask a little bit too much of my car under brakes. I have overshot the brake. It was really difficult. No, Absol has gone very wide into here. Unfortunately for me, it's going to put me on the wrong side. We're going to brave it around the outside there. Make it work. We are past the Mercedes. Can we chase down Hordes in a lap? Maybe if Hordes gets stuck in the fight up ahead. There's a little chance if Hordes gets really, really stuck into the fight. As it stands, whoa! As it stands, my Datsun wants to go very, very sideways. Be careful down here. I mean, it's tempting. It's tempting. In the dry, it might be flat. I don't actually think it would be. I think the cars have too much power and too little grip to probably be taking that flat. Not that it matters, though, because, you know, these are the conditions we've got. It is awful to try and figure out what is going on. A little bit of patience through here, not a bad idea. Careful of the exit curb. The group ahead is really all bunched up now. Oh, we're a little wide. We'll kind of get away with it by late apexing it there, essentially. And we can punch away from the Mercedes down this next straight. One more time around for us here. We're a couple of seconds back from Hordes. I don't think we can catch, but we're going to give it everything. You know, there is always a chance. There is always a chance if they start fighting each other. You know, there's always a chance for a fastest lap, for example. Although, don't bin it. Don't bin it trying to go for a fastest lap. I say that as we get it all crossed up, and I opted to launch it over the curbs there because it was... I don't think I was going to pull it across in time, so I took a gamble that we would be fine smacking the curbs, and we could get away with it. Yeah, I feel like Hordes' Aston Martin may be just a tiny bit quicker than my car around here. I think my car can go quicker. I think just me trying to be a little cautious and not wreck is costing us just that little bit of time, but it is important to have, let's say, that little margin of error. When it's a car like this that's so difficult to drive out here, I kind of have to a little bit. And it's also, this car is way outside my normal comfort zone for a vehicle. This is absolutely not how I would normally build a car. But yeah, we are struggling to match Hordes' pace here at the moment. I mean, we aren't far away from the leader's pace. Scotty has just got the lead of the race in the little tiny Porsche there. We've not had a great... Having worked our way up into this 6th place, we've actually not had a great final lap. I just struggled to find much more pace with this car. Oh, you can see we're leaning on it super hard through all of that. And it is just a be neat, be tidy through these final couple of corners. Don't do anything stupid to upset the car. Don't do anything to slide the vehicle around. Oh, too much. Oh, we'll do that. That's a lot of understeer. Get off the curb. The DBS is right there. We're going to send it the long way round, make it awkward. We know we've got good acceleration. We lost, yeah, scruffy final lap, really, from me. The lap where we needed to really push on, we just couldn't do it, which is a shame. Yeah, tough to drive. I'll take a 6th, honestly. I will take a sixth. Yeah, I mean, lap time wise, we were there or thereabouts. Horde's the fastest of the lot. Gib Gob's a little quicker, but I mean, it was really, really close. Grumples' Dino was very fast. In fact, there's loads of us in the 206s, that sort of mid-ish 206s. Scotty, Javi, Shadow, me, all in the 206.5s. Brusky was in the 206.4s, but like the 6.7s from Stevie and Snoopy down in 11th and 12th. That's really, really close. Really, really close lap times in there. Yeah, God, in the rain. That was sketchy, but yeah, you know what? I'll take the position gain, especially considering we got in trouble early on. So there we have it. Classic cars proving to be relatively quick. Oh, I forgot about this Datsun. Mad little thing. Wonderfully quick. Completely bonkers. But yes, there you go. There is some archive footage, not before seen races. However, we should be back to normal though for next week. So if you would like to sign up to take part in the next one of these sessions, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus the Community sign up section, and you can register to take part in there. That though is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.